Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. It's a place where, as you can see, I'm sitting by a bookcase, so it's a good indicator that we talk about books here. You can kind of see the skull, which I think looks a little weird in my viewfinder, but I'm wearing my Discworld Death shirt. He loves cats, so he has a little cat, which I feel like my shirt is going to be appropriate for a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. So I hope that your month of March is going awesome. Mine has been going pretty good. I've been hanging out with some friends and getting some books done and getting some Lego sets that I'm pretty excited about, but we're not here to talk about any of that, are we? Well, the books part, I guess we are. I threw that in, so we're here to talk about that. So far I have finished the first Throne of Glass. Well, I guess I should say like the prequels to Throne of Glass, which I loved. I'll link that video down below. That one. I also just finished a really short story. I got the ebook from my library, so if I recall, I think it was maybe like 125 pages. It was Comfort Me with Apples, which I finished that in like 2 hours last night. Really enjoyed that one. Don't Google a synopsis if you're interested in reading it. It's a very weird short mystery where the whole time you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and like there is a big reveal, and if you Google even to read a synopsis, you're gonna spoil it. So don't even do that. If you want a weird short little mystery where you're trying to figure out what the F is going on, just go and borrow or buy Comfort Me with Apples. It's by Catherine Valente, and you'll be very I don't want to say pleasantly surprised. I don't know if you'll be pleasantly surprised, but I think it was good enough to where I want to read. She's written quite a few other books. I want to read something else from her, but I'm not going to say anything else about this book because it is so short, and anything I talk about with it is going to be a spoiler. So do yourself a favor. Don't Google it. Don't even read the synopsis. Just borrow it or buy it. Open it. It'll take you a few hours. It's like over 120 pages, just a hair over, and a nice weird little mystery. So what else have I think those are like the two that I've really liked so far this month. I am doing a few books for like a middle grade March reading project, which it's not a challenge. I'm not gonna like challenge. This is something I do for fun. So like, I don't know, challenge to me makes me just want to be like, I don't know. I'm not a very competitive person. So I feel like the word challenge kind of actually demotivates me. But a project, I love projects. So my middle grade March reading project, I've already finished one, which I will definitely have a lot to say about that. I'm going to do a video with the middle grade books that I have read by the end of the month. The one that I just started last night, and I'm only maybe like 4 chapters into it, is Winter House. I'm liking this one so far quite a bit more. I still like don't really know what's going on, so reserving judgment completely so far, but far fewer misgivings than the other middle grade book that I finished a few days ago. So there's that, right? I also, I can't believe I forgot this. I finished Ninth House like 2 days ago. I'm gonna do very shortly, like in the next week or two, I'm gonna do a video because I just finished Ninth House a couple days ago, wanted that to marinate for a couple of days, and then this morning I just started Hellbent. I'm maybe like 2 chapters into it. I loved Ninth House. I have very high hopes for Hellbent. We'll see. It's hard to it's just like so many movies, you know, when they do a sequel, a lot of times it's hard to capture the magic of the first one. I'm hoping this does not suffer the curse of the sequel, because I really, really liked Ninth House. Like, I don't know that I've ever read such a book that could encapsulate the descriptor of dark academia as much as Ninth House did. And she set the bar high, Leigh Bardugo, and so I'm really hoping this one, I will love it just as much. So in the next week or two, I'm gonna have a video just talking about the, I guess it's called the Alex Stern series. I don't know if that's the official, like, series name for it or what, but I'll have a video talking about that in the next couple of weeks. I also just started the writing retreat. I got this in February for the book of the month, and I like it so far. It's gonna be, it feels like kind of a slow setup, but I mean, I'm only a few chapters into it. There's a lot of book left to read, but so far I'm enjoying this. I'm eager to see what's going to happen with it. Although I have to admit, like, I put this, as soon as I started reading Ninth House, like, I started this a week ago, I put this down and just stuck with Ninth House, because I mean, I immediately was like sucked into that one. But this one is very good, and I don't want it to be a victim of like, I just happened to read a really good series at the same time and kind of toss this aside. So this is in my little to read pile. I am actively reading this, but I have to admit I'm probably gonna finish Hellbent before I go back to this one. But I definitely, like, it is, since I've already started it, it's like official. I really want to finish this by like the end of the month. And I didn't actually end up getting a book of the month this month, because the two books that they had that I wanted were ones that I was already planning to buy the exclusive editions from Barnes & Noble. I don't always buy the exclusive editions, but like when I do, I mean, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people who like collect multiple editions of the same book. I don't typically do that. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. If I see like multiple awesome editions for the same book, I would do it, but generally not. So the two that I were interested in for March from Book of the Month, the first one was The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi. Gosh, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I wanted to get the version from Barnes & Noble. Oh, you can see it's a little boat. And I think this one also comes with a bonus story in it because it's the exclusive. So I got this one. And the one that I was like, when I saw it in person, I was like, oh my God. The London Seance Society. This alone, the title, I was thinking when I first saw it, like when it was on the list of, you know, books that are going to be released, I was like, I don't care what this is about, I want to buy it. And then reading the synopsis, it looks like exactly what I'm hoping, like I was hoping it would be. It sounds like it's going to be about like Victorian, supernatural stuff, which I'm totally down with, but this is also the Barnes & Noble exclusive, and let me tell you, first of all, the end papers, oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. But then look at this. Look at the actual book. Like, oh my God. Oh my God, they did so good with this. Like, it's just a beautiful book. The back is pretty much the same end papers, but yeah, that's why, like, I don't know if I don't know that the regular edition of this book has like this, but this sealed the deal. I was like, I don't need any other edition. I'm good. I should say though, I want to wait to read this until I understand this is like a spin-off of the author's, is it Daevabad? Deveabad, something like that. I apologize if I'm butchering the pronunciation. That trilogy. Or I guess maybe there's 4 books to it now. Isn't there like short stories or something? Anyway, I have the first book of that. I kind of want to read that first before reading this spinoff, even though, I mean, I don't think it really matters the order that you read them in, but that's just kind of my plan. So I'm going to hold on to this. I do have the first book in the main series, and I'm going to read that and then move through the rest of the series before I start on this one. But like, again, more pirates. Guess I didn't realize how interested I am in reading about pirates, but yet another pirate book. My nonfiction that I picked up after I finished the last one, this one has been, I don't know, really like highly reviewed by critics and just regular people. It's Ghost Empire. It's about the Byzantine Empire, which of course was Constantinople, was at the heart of it, not Istanbul. It was Constantinople, but now it's Istanbul and not Constantinople. So this is about basically the rise and fall of the Byzantines, and I really like it so far. The writing is really good. It's a pretty significant book. How many pages are in this? I think it's over 450 pages of the actual book, but it's pretty accessible. I can see why, even though, I mean, I'm like 5% into it, if that. So, but I can tell just with the writing, I can see why so many people really like this. It is an accessible history book, and especially if you're interested in, you know, the history of Constantinople / Istanbul, which of course is like, it's been the heart, for so long it was the heart of interaction and just a cultural conversion, and so it's going to be really, I'm really excited to read this. And actually there's another book, just reading this, even being just a couple chapters into it, if that, like, I knew that this is not going to be enough. I want to read more about the Byzantines. So I did order a trilogy, and it's the Byzantium trilogy by, what is his name? John Julius Norwich. Let me check. Hold on. Yes, John Julius Norwich wrote a pretty highly regarded trilogy about the Byzantines, so I ordered that. I'm waiting for it to come in. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go to it like right after I finish this. That one, I guess, is like regarded as one of the most thorough histories of the Byzantines that's been written like ever, so I'm pretty excited for that. The last one that I have that I'm reading right now is Lore Olympus. What am I? I'm probably about 30% through with this. I like it so far. It's an interesting semi-modern update to Hades and Persephone and like all of the Greek gods. One thing that I don't love about this is, like, look how big this book is and how much white space. Like, they could have made these pictures bigger, and I really wish they had, because so much of the detail is getting lost in like the tiny pictures, and like there's so much white space on the pages. Like, they really didn't need to make them this small, and I wish that they had made them bigger. So that's my only complaint so far, is that some of the pictures, there's tons of space, like empty space on the page. Why did you make it so small? Especially, like, I don't know, these things aren't cheap. You could have made each cell like bigger, but we'll see. It's not, I don't know, it's not a massive complaint. It's just like, sometimes my vision isn't great, but with my glasses, I have like perfect vision. But even me, sometimes I find myself squinting at some of these going, what is that? What's going on in this in this like, I don't want to look like that. I'm not 70 years old yet. Like, I shouldn't have, I'm gonna turn into my father and be like, you know, like, what is happening? No, I am not old enough to have to be squinting and like rearranging my glasses and trying to figure out what's in an image. So who printed this? Random House. You should know better, Random House. Why would you do this? Why would you do this with the layout of this book? It's so beautiful. Like, the images are so beautiful. Why would you make them so tiny when especially, see, I'm getting so rowdy. I just knocked over a stack of books. Why would you make them so tiny when the book is so big? I don't understand. It's my only complaint. I'm hoping to get through this though in the next few days. I think I will. It's when I sat down, like, I got through the first third of the book in maybe like 30 minutes, so it's gonna be really fast if I actually just sit down and try to finish it. And that is actually all of the books that I'm reading currently. I try not to read too many at once. It kind of gets hard for me to keep track of like what's happening in which. Like, I do take notes for the books that I'm reading, but not like thorough. I'm not writing a report for this in school, so I'm not gonna be like writing down a complete synopsis of each book and all the details. So I try not to read too many at once. You know, just dividing my focus doesn't work out very well for me. Although, I don't know, one of the things that I've been doing is listening to LeVar Burton's podcast. If you're not aware, LeVar Burton, of course, like, such fond memories from my childhood with reading Rainbow. Of course, he was on Star Trek. From what I understand, he's also written at least one novel, which I plan to pick up. I'm really interested to see what he did. But yeah, reading Rainbow, that was one of my jams when I was just a wee lass. And so, I don't know why I said wee lass, I'm not like Scottish, but whatever. I loved reading Rainbow, and so now I think he's tapping into that millennium nostalgia, and he has a podcast where he reads books. His voice is just like so soothing. So at night, like when I'm getting ready for bed, you know, doing my nightly routine, I just like put his podcast on, listen to him read me a story, and it's very relaxing. I don't know if that counts really for reading a book, because I'll be honest, I'm doing it more for like the the de-stressing, like meditative nature of it. I don't know that I really retain anything, but it's just like his voice is very soothing, and it's a great podcast. If you haven't checked it out, you should. Like, the name of his podcast is pretty straightforward. It's just called LeVar Burton Reads. So if you are interested, I highly recommend it. If you are a millennial and you also have fond memories of reading Rainbow, this is just gonna like light up all of the nostalgia parts of your brain if you listen to his reading podcast. I do have coming up too, so there's 4 more books that I for sure want to read by the end of the month, and like everything outside of that is just kind of like whatever I want. So Hellbent, of course, is one. I want to finish the middle grade book that I'm currently reading, and then I have 2 more that I'd like to get through. Those go pretty fast though. I mean, they're not, although I don't know, the ones that I'm reading are kind of long, I feel, for middle grade books, but I mean, they're not complex reads. It doesn't take a super long time. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to get through the ones that I would ideally like to get through. And then of course the last one that I have is, did I say 4 books? I guess I wasn't counting the one that I'm currently reading. I guess there's 5 technically that I want to finish by the end of the month. But the last one is The Secret Garden. I have not started that yet. I think that's also going to be a pretty fast read, but I would like to finish, I'd like to finish Hellbent first. And like, cause again, my brain, it's too many books to juggle at once. I admire people who can read like a ton of different books at one time, but it's so hard for me to keep it straight. So I want to finish Hellbent, and then I'll probably start reading The Secret Garden. Actually, that would be like the perfect break. I try to break up the like reading the same type of book back to back to back. So if I read The Secret Garden after Hellbent, that will give me a nice little break before I go and finish the writing retreat. There you go. I just solved my own problem. I also have to find some time in the next like week. Hopefully, maybe this upcoming weekend, I'm just gonna binge The Last of Us. I've been trying like hell to avoid those spoilers, so, but I hate watching shows week to week. There's very few that I will do that for. I will do that for The Mandalorian because it's truly impossible to avoid spoilers for The Mandalorian, like, at all. You just can't. Everybody's talking about it everywhere I look, so that one I will watch week to week. I will also do House of the Dragon week to week because, again, well, that one too is like, it's so much of like a community experience to watch that one week to week. Like, aside from avoiding spoilers, which you can't do that with Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon either. Like, when Game of Thrones was on, I watched that week to week. House of the Dragon, now I'm watching that show week to week when it's airing. So, but it's the same. Those are basically like the only two shows though, Mandalorian and House of the Dragon, that I will watch week to week. Otherwise, I prefer to wait until a season is done and then just like get through all the episodes at once. So, The Last of Us, man, do you know how hard it's been to avoid these spoilers? Even like looking in the news, they're putting spoilers. I've got to like click away, close the article. Like, good Lord, why are you in my face with spoilers? This is not okay. So I'm hoping maybe this upcoming weekend I'll be able to finish or I start and finish The Last of Us. There's not that many episodes, so but I've got to carve out a chunk of time to do that. And then I also really, I don't know why, I've been playing Final Fantasy VIII for like a couple of months, and what am I? I'm probably like 70 hours in, but it's just like taking me forever. I don't know why. I don't know why this playthrough is taking me forever, but it is. So I also want to find some time to devote to like a big chunk of getting through this, because I'm on like book 3, I'm on disc 3 of it. I've got a whole lot, because I'm playing the original PS1 version. Yes, I am. Like, it's no remasters for this one for me. I have nothing against remasters. I don't know. I just it's like, I've got the PS1 version. They didn't update it that significantly from what I could tell with the remaster, so like, I'm not gonna bother. I'll just play the PS1 version. So I'm only on disc 3 though. There's a whole other disc to go. Like, I really need to get through this. I don't know what's taking so long. I've got a ton of other games that I want to play. But anyway, what I have for the rest of this video is kind of like an unplanned haul, but I figured I could just show an update of what I've been getting, because I got OwlCrate box. They shipped the ones out for February. I think they shipped it out like in March. So like, I just got it. And then I also got some I got Waterstones haul, which that takes, I mean, normally that takes weeks, we're talking, to get here, but with the postal disruption in the UK, it took like 5 weeks to get here, which is like way longer than normal when coming from the UK. And then I also found some really awesome condition books in thrift stores in the past, I don't know, couple of months, so I figured we'd talk about those too. So I'm gonna grab my OwlCrate box. So all I did was cut this open. I have not actually looked in it yet, so we're gonna open this guy up for the first time and see what we got. Ooh, also, I saw it looks like OwlCrate is gonna be doing, oh God, I love looking, in my little viewfinder, I can just see Death and his little cat, and it's so cute. I love it so much. We'll get to the Discworld part of this video after we, after we do the unboxing. That'll be part of my next segment, if you will. Anyway, I saw that OwlCrate is gonna be coming out with an adult box in 2023, so I am on the wait list for that. We'll see what they start putting out. I'm not sure when. I think the last update I saw just said sometime in 2023. So this is just a sneak peek for the March box. If you don't want to know what the March box is going to be, then look away. So it doesn't really say much though. Like, it's a, funnily enough, I don't really care that much about spoilers for like a book subscription, but don't give me spoilers about what's actually like in the book, in the movie, in the TV show. Most of the time I won't even watch trailers. That's how much I don't want any spoilers. But apparently when it comes to a book subscription, I don't even care if I know what's going to come in the box, but I do not know what's in this box. I didn't see any spoilers for this. My guess is because it took them a while. I think maybe they had like weather problems. It took them a while to ship this out. They have a little booklet. It's got an interview with the author. So the first item is a throw blanket. It's inspired by Atlas 6. Pretty decent size. It's soft. Actually, I feel like it's the kind of texture my cat is just gonna take over, so this will probably end up being her blanket. The second item is a journal. I believe it's inspired by, yes, The Starless Sea, which I have not read. Honestly, I probably won't read it because I read the author's first book and it just wasn't my thing. But I think this is a absolutely beautiful journal. You can see like shiny. And then the back says we're all stardust and stories. It's really nice quality. Like it's one of those where it's kind of like soft padding on the outside. And then this is what's inside. I don't know if you can see. Probably hard to see, but it's kind of like graphs, like dot graphs. It's not lines, but still, I mean, I'm always a sucker for journals. I can use them for all kinds of things, so I actually really like this one. We do have a set of magnetic bookmarks. I believe that this is the general book-ish item that comes in this box, because I know they try to put in at least one thing that's not like tied to a book, right? Oh, these are actually really nice quality as well. So it looks like each one has quotes from a different author. So there's one like from Neil. You can see they're really nice. Like they feel like good sturdy quality. The back has God, if you can see that, it's hard to see. The back has the author's name on it. So like the Neil Gaiman quote is, "A book is a dream you hold in your hands." Alice Hoffman is, "Books may well be the only true magic." And Jorge Luis Borges, gosh, I apologize if I've I'm sure I butchered that. I speak a little German. I speak almost no Spanish except like food words like guacamole, tortilla. That's about all I speak in Spanish. ¿Dónde está el baño? That's about yo quiero agua, por favor. That's like the extent of my Spanish, everything I just said. So, but his quote says, "I have always imagined that paradise will be a kind of library." Oh, I love a good, you know, I would love that too. Like if they're these stories where I see like the main character will get to go into like these vast libraries and they're cavernous and God, even, I don't know, those of you that have played Kingdom Hearts, there's one of the worlds that you go in that just has like this gigantic library, and I'm always just jealous. Jealous of these characters in these stories that get to experience these just beautiful cavernous libraries. Although the one in Doctor Who, which I won't make any spoilers for that, not so into that library, and if you know, you know why. We do get, it's actually a really nice little envelope here. It's a letter opener. I believe it's inspired by A Darker Shade of Magic. Oh my god, this is actually, it's actually pretty beautiful. All right, can you, I don't know. Look at me going, there we go. You can kind of see the design there. Awesome. So you can like use this and pretend that you're very like classy with your letter opener. Is it just me? I'm gonna do that. No judgment if you do, because I'll be doing the same thing. The actual book from OwlCrate, which I kind of almost forgot about, is Revel. This is by Lissa Mia Smith. Actually, this is a beautiful cover, but I did take a peek. Here we got some really beautiful end papers. Ooh, and just some back is pretty much, it's the same. But I've noticed some books doing this recently. So we've got the inside artwork. And then this, woo, you can see, I do love this. Just the purple is such a beautiful, like you can see it shine. I love that. They do a really good job with these. I guess I should mention what it says this book is. Let's see. In Revel, we're transported to a Prohibition-era setting where families wield magical powers and fantasies are created, but only for the right price. I could get down with this, so this will be on my very long eventual, like, I will read this at some point, giant TBR. I lied. There's one more little item that like fell down as I was doing this. It's Treasured Tomes. It's from their limited pin collection. Oh, nice. All right. So this one is, I believe it's inspired by, yeah, the Crescent City series. You can see. Try to get, there we go. Nice. I'm one of those people, I have a lanyard with like pins on it, and I know you see a lot of people at like conventions and like Disney walking around with those. Like honestly, I would not do that, only because like I don't want to have to worry about keeping track of my pins and my lanyard, making sure everything is still on me by the end of the day. So I kind of just have it like hanging at home. But like in theory, if I wore that lanyard out with those pins, that I would be one of those people, but like I'm not. So I'm just gonna add this onto that lanyard and keep it all in my house. Like, I don't know, a hoarding weirdo, I guess. That is the end of the OwlCrate collection, but I do have some books, like I said. I think I will go through the ones I got. You know what, I'll go through the Discworld ones first, or I guess I should say Terry Pratchett, because they're not all Discworld. So, as you can tell, once again, my shirt. I do love Terry Pratchett and Discworld. What I've been wanting to do for quite a long time is get some nice copies of his hardcovers. It's really hard though to find his hardcovers here in the US, and the ones that I find, I don't really like the covers. So what I have been doing, I really like the hardcover editions that they have in the UK for his books. So the editions that I got, they finally just got here. I ordered these from Waterstones. This first one is actually not a Discworld collection, but it is Terry Pratchett, and it's the same style of hardcover, which is really nice. It's the Bromeliad Trilogy. It's got 3 books in it. Obviously, that's why it's called a trilogy. Duh, if you didn't know, a trilogy is 3 books. It's got Truckers, Diggers, and Wings. This is not Discworld related at all, but like I said, the edition is in the same style as the hardcovers for Discworld, which I just really love. I mean, it's really nice quality with the board, and I don't know, I just am totally digging the style of these hardcovers. Way nicer than what we have here in the US. Oh, I did get 4 different Discworld novels to add to my collection, which is very small right now, but I want to grow it. Because I do like I have the ebooks, but I prefer, like, I want the really nice hardcovers. So I got these 4. I got Equal Rights, which is one of my favorites. Is this the first? I think this is the first Witches novel. I think. I would have to, let's take a look inside and see. Yes, this is the first Witches Discworld book, and you know that because it's like the 3rd book in the Discworld series. But really love it. Love the coloring. Love like the foily stuff that they've got. I got Mort, which I also love. I think that this one is also like the first death. The first death book in Discworld, so I really love this. And I love the back here, Death on his horse with the sign. Like, I love this. And it's just, this is one of, again, you know what, I shouldn't say it's one of my favorite, because, like, honestly, I like all of the Discworld books. I mean, there's the only one that I maybe like less than others, and I don't even know why, was Moving Pictures, but I didn't even dislike that. I just liked that less than the others. So I love them all. I could say that like every single Discworld book is one of my favorites. And I have Sorcery, of course. This is, I think it might be the first Unseen University book, so, which is awesome. Ooh, I can see in the light. Like, I love, like, in my viewfinder, I'm reflecting the light. I love that. Here's the back, which is basically the same. But yes, I love that. And then the Weird Sisters, again, if you could not tell, more witches. I don't know, the witches in Discworld, I find them, I find everything in Discworld fun. Let's be real, I was gonna say I find the witches so fun. I find everything in Discworld so fun. Like, it's fantasy that's like witty and sometimes sarcastic, and it's just fun. It's one of these, like, if I read Discworld, like, I'm automatically in a good mood, because, like, Terry Pratchett was just an incredible writer. His writing makes you just feel, I don't know, you feel good. If you haven't picked up Discworld, strongly recommend it. I really want to get all of the books in the series. Unfortunately, they are not cheap, so I'm doing them a few at a time. So these are my 4 Discworlds and my 1 non-Discworld collection from Terry Pratchett that I actually just got in the last couple of days. So it's like perfect timing that I got all of these. What we'll do, I figure I'll go over the rest of the books that I got from Waterstones, because those, like, again, it was perfect timing. They just came like 2 days ago after being in the mail for like 5 or 6 weeks. It took a long time. These poor books have been through it, I think. So I'll go through those, and then we will show the really awesome thrift books that I got this month too. So the first one that I got from Waterstones is How to Kill Your Family. As the name implies, like when I read the synopsis, well, you know what? I'll read the back. They say you can't choose your family, but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything. She will stop at nothing to get revenge. From what I understand, this is going to be very dark but very funny, and that's like right up my alley. I love something that's just like, really shouldn't be laughing about this because it's dark, but like it's really funny. So I'm interested in this. There's actually, what I try to order from Waterstones are books that like, at least I can't find them easily like obtainable in the US. This one I didn't see available here in the US. I don't know if it's gonna be like available here at some point, but I thought this version was beautiful anyway. Like the front, black and pink, and the back is kind of reversed. So, I mean, not that it needs to have a beautiful cover, but it kind of helps when it looks good. But yeah, I'm interested to read this one. I love, like, I don't know, Richard Osman says he loved this book, so probably gonna be a good book. I don't know, we'll see. I guess I don't know that I've read anything that Richard Osman has recommended, but I have enjoyed his stuff, so hopefully he's got good taste. And then I did also pick up A Fatal Crossing. It's by Tom Hindle. This sounds a lot like in the style of like an Agatha Christie, which, I mean, she's like my mystery queen and the world's mystery queen, so like I'm down with this. I'm hoping that I like it. I like to read it soon-ish because I know it looks like he's got another book coming out in the next few months, and so if I really like this one, then I'm going to grab that one too. So it looks like this one is about A Fatal Crossing. If you couldn't tell, it sounds like it's going to be a story about a murder mystery on a ship. If you can imagine that, because you can see the ship here, and it's called A Fatal Crossing. A ship full of suspects, 2 detectives, 1 killer. I mean, that says it all, right? You've already got me hooked in. I'm already excited for this. Like, honestly, like literally say no more. Like, I'm down with everything that this has presented to me. Oh, and it takes place in 1924. Yes, give me an old-timey mystery. Give me an old-timey mystery. I love that. None of this like, let's take to the internet and get easily obtainable information or surveillance cameras or all these things. No. What I want is some old-timey Hercule Poirot using the little gray cells to solve this kind of a thing, and I hope that that's what this one delivers. I did grab The Fair Botanists. I'm not sure this is the kind of book that I would normally gravitate to, but something about it just spoke to me. It sounds like it's gonna be historical fiction. 2 women, like, with their own interesting histories that kind of get thrown together in this situation and, like, I don't know, develop a connection. Honestly, I have no idea. There's a lot of books that I go into. Most of them I want to go in mostly blind. Again, I can't emphasize enough that I do not like spoilers, so I try to look as little as possible. And it's so like the books that hook me in. So usually it's different words. First of all, this cover drew my attention. I think this cover is really beautiful. The Fair Botanist. Okay, that's not something that you hear about very often with respect to books, so that drew me in. And then the description for this kind of sounds like concealed identities, things that might get, like, are we gonna get found out kind of a thing. That's kind of what this sounds like it might be. So like those are the kind of the little words that drew me in, and I don't even want to know more than that. If you want to know more than that, by all means Google it, but like I hate spoilers. So again, I don't even watch trailers for movies or TV shows. I don't want to know like anything. Maybe I want to know who's in it, and just give me like a 1-word synopsis of what it's about, and I'll make my decision that way. I want to just go in with like as few expectations as possible. And I just love the element of like a book or a movie or a show like revealing itself naturally to me. I don't want to go in and know like everything that's going to happen or a lot of what's going to happen or anything like that. So I apologize, it's not a very good synopsis for this book, but that's why I don't really want to know anything about these books, like anything more than the cover reveals. I did pick up Pandora by Susan Stokes Chapman. Again, Greek myth. So this is a historical fiction from what I understand, but not so historical that it's like taking place with the ancient Greeks. I think it just has to do with like figuring out a mystery that like relates to Greek mythology, which sounds awesome. Hello. So again, I don't know a ton about what this is about, but like historical fiction, solving a mystery, somehow related to like mysterious Greek mythology intrigue, like say no more. I'm totally gonna be down with this. I've noticed a theme as I actually look through, what is my hair doing? It's being real weird. So I look through the books that I get, like I guess I do tend to notice a pattern. Like I love mythology related things, and this is yet another mythology related thing. I don't think I saw this as being available here in the US, so I was glad that I was able to get it sent over from the UK. I grabbed The Whistling. This is by Rebecca Netley. I feel like I saw this somewhere recommended on YouTube, but I don't remember exactly where, so it was probably someone's channel on YouTube. So like, although I don't know, it could have also been Reddit. What I do for book recommendations is I either get them from like booktubers or the various Reddit like book and reading subs. So or I mean, I guess I do discover quite a bit myself, just like wandering a bookstore or like clicking through various books and like discovering more. But a lot of my starting points are either booktuber recommendations or going down a rabbit hole from booktuber recommendations or Reddit sub recommendations. So this came from somebody else. I know that it did. I just don't remember who. But it's The Whistling. It sounds like a haunted house mystery. I'm always down for a haunted house mystery. Is this one set? It doesn't say that this one is set in the past, so it might be like a modern setting. But it sounds like it's set on a remote Scottish island. Like, I really want some kind of I just picture like rolling hills and fog. And I don't know, this I think is going to be very atmospheric, and I might actually hold it until probably like the fall, maybe October I'll read it. It really feels like, it screams to me, no pun intended, but it screams to me like a spooky Halloween situation where I want to sit down and just do this as part of like my spooky book reading in the fall. So I might hold on to this one until then. I saw this one, and I mean, the title alone drew me in. Now She Is Witch by Kirsty Logan. This is another one where I couldn't find it really available here in the US. So I don't know. This is a copy though that's signed by the author, which I thought was nice. I don't think it's digitally printed either. I think it's the actual signature from what I can tell, but like, who knows? I'm not an expert in that. But I do think, I don't know, I think it's really, like, the cover is really pretty, and on the back it's got a little bunny. Oh my god, once again, don't let anything happen to these bunnies that they're putting on the covers of these books. Oh god, I don't know yet. Like, I understand after reading Ninth House why the snake is on the cover. I don't know yet from Hellbent why the bunny is on the cover. Please don't let anything happen to that bunny. Oh my God. Don't let anything happen to this bunny either. No animals get harmed in the making of these books. That's how I feel. Don't hurt. It's weird because I can read about like people getting murdered and I'm like, yeah, okay. But man, you introduce like animals to the situation. I'm like, absolutely not. No, 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 you better not hurt this animal. I'm going to be very upset. I don't know what that says about me, or us as like a species. I mean, yeah, I don't like animals in danger. So I hope this bunny is not in danger. It looks like it's jumping over like a fire. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Can you see? Is that bunny jumping over a fire? Kind of looks like it, huh? Anyway, so this is going to be a witch story. It sounds like this woman who is a witch, she has some people in her family are well, it's in the book flap, so it's not a spoiler. It sounds like some people in her family are killed and she needs to try to figure out who did it, and it goes on like it sounds like a mystery solving witch story, which I'm down with. No pun intended. Oh God, that was bad. So yeah, I'm interested to read this one. I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't seen anybody talk about this that I can recall. But like, I'm totally down. And honestly, I think the cover is really cool. So we gotta judge the book by the cover to some degree, right? So I just did. The cover is cool, so you better deliver like a really good story, because why are you gonna give me a really good cover and then be a crappy story? Like, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stay consistent. Good cover, good story. The last one that I got from Waterstones, I was so glad it finally came. I may get the US version of this, but like, I just felt like the UK version was really, really beautiful. It's the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I just loved this. There's nothing wrong with the US version. It's like a black with like a flower kind of wreath around the outside, and I might get that one because I do like that one too, but this one just really spoke to me. I mean, we're talking about fairies, which is again wild. I'm noticing some patterns in my reading because one of the middle grade books that I just finished was all about fairies. But yeah, I really love this. Like, you can see it's got like the pink foil. I'm totally down to read this book. Again, this is one where I'm like, I know practically nothing about this book, but I don't need to. It's gonna be about fairies, and, or at least it better be. If you're gonna call it the Encyclopedia of Fairies and it's not actually about fairies, like, we're gonna have a problem. But this feels very much like a book which I put into my my spring reading video. I probably maybe save this for like April and just read it. Like, the weather's nice, things coming up. Maybe I'll go and I don't know, go to the park or something and read this when it's like nice weather. We've had, our weather's been pretty temperamental, going back and forth between like snow and like 70 degrees. So when it's consistently like sunny and things are starting to like bloom again, I will bust this out. I think this is gonna be, it really strikes me as another one of these like cozy fantasy situations, which I'm like totally psyched about. So give me books that are gonna be beautiful and fun. And I really love things that make me feel good to read, and I think this is gonna make me feel like good, happy to read it. Now we have arrived at the thrift portion of the video. I like to go to like used bookstores, thrift shops, really anywhere that's gonna have used books. I love to go, and my goal is to find like like new versions of different books at a good price, because like when it's good, like it's really good, you know, because you're getting a used book, like you're getting basically a new book for a used book price, and like I'm all about paying as little as I have to for, you know, the various way too many books on my to read list that I want to buy. I was able to pick up some classics for just like a couple dollars each, which I thought was awesome. These are basically like completely unread condition. So the first one I got was Tess of the D'Ubervilles. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about though. So I grabbed this one. Again, it looks completely like new. I couldn't believe it, which I especially like. I've been paying more attention to classics now that I've decided to make it like a goal to, I'm gonna try each month to read a different classic book. Like I said earlier, The Secret Garden is on my list for the month of March, so I'm on the look for really good quality versions of classics, because I really, honestly, it pains me to have to pay like regular retail price for a classic if they're not books that I'm sure I'm gonna love. And like my whole goal is, with the books that I own, I don't want to own any books that are not like 4 or 5 star books. I don't want to own books that I think are 3 stars or less. So like the fewer books that I have to buy that I'm not gonna have 4 or 5 stars, the better. As of right now, for the books that I own that I have read, I do not have any books that are less than 4 stars, so meeting my goal. And actually I haven't bought a book that I thought was less than 4 stars in like a long time. That's always my goal though. I don't want to spend money on a book that I think is just okay. I really only want to spend money on books that I think are really good. And so that's why with classics, I don't necessarily know that I'm going to think they're like 4 or 5 stars. And you know, the star rating, that's just like my enjoyment, because who the hell am I? I'm not a professional. Like, my degrees have nothing to do with literature. So, you know, I'm certainly not rating books for like any kind of professional standards. It's just purely based on my own enjoyment and like how good the quality that I thought it was, but like I'm no one, so whatever. But yeah, with classics, like I don't necessarily know that I'm gonna think they're 4 or 5 stars, so if I can get them really good quality for, you know, just a few dollars, I'm down with that. Having said all of that, I also picked up like a brand new copy of The Scarlet Letter, again just a couple of dollars, used bookstore. And then a really nice copy of Their Eyes Were Watching God. I feel like I maybe read this in school, but I do not remember. I do not remember this book, unfortunately. Like, couldn't tell you what it was about or what I thought about it. So I was really excited to see this version of it. In, you know, it's in great condition, and so I grabbed it while I was there. And I grabbed, I think that is this a first edition? It might be. Let me see. I think this is a first edition. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I have not read it. It has been on my list. Again, got it for a couple of dollars. This looks like a completely unread version. I could not believe it. So I was happy to see this one. I have read Mexican Gothic. I did really enjoy it. I would say it was a 4-star read for me. It was a real weirdly unexpected turn in it for a haunted house book. So I was excited to see this one in a used bookstore, and I grabbed it. It's really good quality. Again, I don't know that it's ever been read. So yeah, like I'm excited to finally own this one, because when I initially read it, I just borrowed it from the library. It's been on my to buy list for a long time, but I haven't gotten around to picking it up. So I was really excited to see this as a discount version. Probably my only complaint about this book, because it had a really, if you haven't read it, I won't give spoilers. It had a really good build up, but the payoff was so fast. Like, I really wanted it to be stretched out more because of how long the build up was. It was just over too fast. That's my only complaint. But I am interested to read more by this author. I know that she's got some other books, so. Looks like when I went there, it looked like somebody must have traded in a bunch of their book of the month books. Like, there were quite a few that I didn't grab, but this is another book of the month version. This one I have not read. It's been on my list for, I mean, probably since it came out. I had planned to borrow this from my library, but there's like a huge weight on it, and I grabbed this for just a couple of dollars. So like, if I don't love it, I'm not out tons of money. But finally, I'm gonna have the option to just read this whenever I want, because there's like a really long wait list from my library for this one. I'm hoping that's an indicator that that means it's a really good book. I think someone also may have turned in like a ton of their fantasy collection. I grabbed ones that like have been on my radar for sure, and were also in like what looked to be unread condition. So this one looks completely brand new. I could not believe it. The Shadow of the Gods by Gwynne. I mean, I was going to, again, get this from my library, but like, this is a pristine copy, so why would I not grab this? Now I can read it at my leisure. I also got two more from Gwynne, but these are from a different series than the other one. Like, this one is the first book in the Bloodsworn series. Next time I go, I'm gonna see like, because I know there's a second book in that collection, and then I'm gonna see, because I got the second and third book in this other collection of Blood and Stone. Again, pristine. These look to be completely unread. Everything that I've heard about Gwynne is just a lot of praise, so I grabbed these because like, beautiful condition for like fraction of what I would buy them for from like a bookstore. So I'm hoping I can go back and find book one, because like, what a good deal. I don't know why would you only buy book one and leave 2 and 3? Like, if somebody got to these before I did, why would you only buy book one? So I'm assuming they didn't sell book one to this used bookstore. I don't know, but yes, I got 2 and 3, so really good deal on these, which if you couldn't see, it's A Time of Blood and A Time of Courage. This book, I've also really wanted to get it. I was really happy to see this. Once again, like, pristine copy, the blade itself. I believe this is the first book, right? Yep, the first book in the first Law trilogy. So I am extremely excited to pick this up and go through it. And again, I don't know, maybe people are spring cleaning right now, you know? Sometimes I tend to notice like these things go in waves at like these bookstores. I couldn't believe like in the past couple of months all of the high quality copies that I got. I'm hoping maybe in the next couple of months, as people are like cleaning out their homes after the winter, there will be some really good things to pick up. So yes, I grabbed this guy. And then the last one, which is recommended by like pretty much everybody, I got Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Once again, like, pristine copy of it. I understand there's at least one more book, right, in this series? I think so. Yeah, there's at least one more in this series, but everyone that I've seen that's read this has really loved it. So it's set a high bar for me with how highly recommended and really loved this book is. So I'm hoping it's gonna live up to the hype when I actually get a chance to dig into it. It's funny because I've been sitting here talking for quite a long time, and actually I was debating whether I should even do this video or not, like a mid-month update, because I'm like, I don't know, am I really gonna have anything to talk about as a mid-month update? Turns out I do. turns out I do. So, what am I gonna do now? Well, I'm going to try to start binging The Last of Us and catch up on The Mandalorian and try to finish Hellbent and try to finish Winter House, the middle grade book, and try to finish Lore Olympus. Those are my next, oh, and try to carve out some significant time to finish Final Fantasy VIII. I've played Final Fantasy VIII before, but not for probably like 15 years, so I don't know why this is taking me so long to get through it, but it is. But I have a ton of other games that I need to get like into, so I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, all right, I gotta just like wrap this up. I'm not gonna go into like trying to max out the game. I already did that my first playthrough, so I just gotta wrap this up and enjoy the ending of the game and move on to a different game. Anyway, this is not a video about video games, although it could be. I could make one, but it's not this one. Anyway, have you read any of the books that I've mentioned here today? What did you think about them? I cannot wait to talk about the Leigh Bardugo books. I'm like so happy that I waited to read Ninth House because like I knew immediately that I wanted to just jump right into Hellbent. So I was really glad that I waited to read that one until I got the sequel. But yeah, have you read anything this month that you've liked, or do you like any of the books that I have grabbed for myself? Now I have to spend a little bit of time this afternoon finding like homes for them on my bookshelf, so we'll see how that's gonna go. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by and taking a look at my video, at my channel. I really appreciate your support. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks.